Are you scaring them away? Hello, everyone, and welcome to my new space. It's Julie Turner, julieturner.ca, and I am in a new space, and you're going to see a bunch of different backgrounds, and hopefully I'll get this echoey issue under control. It's a little empty in my place right now. All right, today we are going to talk about scaring people away, and we're going to talk about that in two different ways. We're going to talk about it in the possibly good way and the possibly not so good way. So before we get started today, if you could please like, subscribe, share, comment, all of those wonderful things. They really, really help me get seen by more people. And if you appreciate what I have to say, then other people might too. So I would really be grateful. All right. So are you scaring them away? Now this is for men or women. Yes, you are. And sometimes that's a good thing. So we're going to start there. I talk to a lot of people. I work in relationships quite a bit, as you know, relationship and communication expert. And people say to me, oh, I have to learn not to talk so much. I have to learn not to do whatever this is so much because, I think that that's what scared this person away. And then I ask them, do you always like to talk a lot? Well, yes, I do. Do you always like to do whatever it is that you did that you think it would frighten people away? And they're like, well, yeah. So continue to do it. Because here's the thing. You can only live under this guise of I'm not this person for so long. And then you have to become you. And guess what, guys? You need to become you. You being your true self is the best way to enter a relationship. So if your date says, you talked a lot and I didn't really enjoy that, possibly it's a etiquette thing. Like maybe you're cutting people off or whatever the case may be. But sometimes you're just like a super, hyper person that has lots to say, and you'd like your date to have lots to say too. So don't curb that. But we need some emotional intelligence in there too. Don't forget that. Reach out to julieturner.ca if you don't know what I am talking about when it comes to emotional intelligence. All right. So in one way, you may be scaring people away by your true self. And again, that is a gift. That is a gift that they don't want to see you again because honestly, it just moves them out of the way for the right person. Because you, in your true form and in your true healthy form, please don't forget healthy. So if you're leading with your injuries, you're leading with your traumas, you're leading with your defense mechanisms, and we'll talk about that in another video, then maybe that's not ideal. But if you feel that you are good and comfortable in your skin and you're just, one of those people that has a lot to say, or maybe you're one of those people that really just doesn't have a lot to say and you want to just listen, that can be an issue as well. So if you're the person that you're on a date with doesn't really have much to say either, you might be looking for somebody that's more of an extrovert, more, that has all kinds of exciting things to draw from that you can then interject what's exciting for you as well without having to carry the conversation. It's interesting, and we can talk about this in another video as well, the difference between the emotional and the physical as per Dr. John Kappas. Take a look at it if you want to know what I'm talking about. Dr. John Kappas, Theory of Mind. All right. Now, what's the other way that you might be scaring people away? And don't get me wrong, there are many, many ways, but we're only going to cover two today in this video. So the other one is one that I have talked about in the past, and I like to call it the marathon date. So many people think that it is amazing to have this date that you meet at lunch and you kiss them goodnight that night. And for some people, don't get me wrong, like this, there's nothing that is conclusive across the board, good or bad. Don't get me wrong. I want you to feel through this and see if this resonates with you. If you have possibly gone on a date, and this could be man or woman, but I'm more speaking to the men here. Okay. Again, man or woman, but I am more speaking to the man here. So I'm going to act like it's specifically a man that I'm speaking to. Okay, you've gone on this wonderful date. You ask her out for lunch. And after lunch, you're like, hey, this went really well. Like, did you want to go for a walk along the beach? I'm where there is a beach. And then they say yes, and you're both having a really good time, and you go and do an activity, and then you go for dinner, and you have this like 8-9 hour 24-hour date sometimes. And then you call them the next day, or you text them the next day. Please call, though. If you can call. Texting is sometimes not the ideal way to communicate, and I'm guilty of that myself, preferring text. But the fact is that the energy when it's a voice is actually much better. All right, so wonderful, brilliant date. You think, oh my goodness, this person is amazing, and they obviously really, really like me because they spent the whole day with me. And you're right, they did really like you. But you go to reach out, and they're not really responding to you. And you ask them if they want to get together, and they're really busy. They're too busy to do this right now. Check back in with them next week, and you're like, what happened here? Picture, if you will, after this marathon date that you've just been on, said person gets home and goes, I didn't do my laundry. I didn't get that paper done. I didn't get that, whatever it is, the project done. All these things that I totally forgot about because I was excited and I was on this new relationship, new situation, high. And then you get home and you didn't get any of your stuff done. And now you're so frustrated and you're disappointed in yourself. And guess whose fault it is? Guess whose fault it is? It's your fault. The guy who suggested all these fun things. Now, did she full on participate? Or again, in the reverse, did they full on participate? Absolutely they did. But now they're feeling guilty. They don't know where to put that guilt. You're convenient. So they're going to make you feel, they're not going to make you feel because they're not even going to connect with you. It's going to be perceived in their mind that it's your fault. And if they say yes to another date, they're going to have another day of things not done. So if you've had this situation and you're like, well, great, so I've lost them. Not necessarily. So what you can do in this situation is you can actually reach out to them and you can say, hey, I know you're busy. I'm really busy too. Next Thursday, I have a window that I can do lunch. I'm only open from noon till 1:30 though. That's all I've got. Are you in? And if this person says yes, then they are actually interested in you, but they perceive that you are going to take all of their time. So then you can remedy this on the date, going, oh, that was so wonderful, but I bet there's some things that you wish you had gotten done that day, and so on and so forth. Just know that, yes, it's wonderful and exciting to meet this person and continue. And I'm not saying this is always an epic fail. It's just often an epic fail. Because sometimes it's like, yeah, we are meant to be, and both of you just check in on the date. If you're in the middle of a marathon date right now and you happen to see this video, crazy talk, don't be watching videos on your date. But just in case, then start asking the question throughout the day, are you sure there's nothing that you need to get done? Because I'm loving having time with you here, but I don't want you to miss out on the things you already had planned. All right. So if you have any questions for me, questions, concerns, or cries of outrage, I do love cries of outrage, please get a hold of me, julieturner.ca. And even if you don't have questions, go check out julieturner.ca. I'm really proud of my website. Thank you so much for Darcy from Outside the Box. He did my website and he's freaking amazing. If you have questions about that, you can ask me about that as well. All right, guys, that's it for today. So continue to be yourself. If that chases people away, awesome. You want to be able to be yourself. If you're in the middle of a marathon date, make sure you're checking in. I personally like a start and an end to a date, and then you're excited to see them again. Keep that in mind. Excited to see them again. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.